Okay. So, I mean, with those stats, I mean, you're talking about 75% of the workforce on the higher echelon are pretty much working remotely. How does that work essentially for like the corporations that you see, like the president or the VP that are always there? They wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, they're walking in the office, potentially more so like legal services. Like, how do you explain for that?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I think when you talk to attorneys, obviously there's some of those things that they got to do face to face, but the vast majority of their work can actually be done remotely as well. When you talk to the people that are asking people back to the office, and I've gone very deep with some of these people saying, why do you want your people to go back to the office? Oh, well, it's a productivity issue. Yeah, but you just told me that they were more productive when they were working from home.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a culture issue. Well, how's your employee net promoter score? It was higher, wasn't it, the last couple quarters due to working remotely? Yeah, but and at the end of the day, it really boils down, unfortunately, to the reason they're not giving, which is ego.
Mm.
And that's one of the big things that a lot of remote companies do not have. We focus on work, not necessarily the ego around work. So when you go into an office and you're the boss of that office and you get to boss a whole bunch of other people around, it gives you an ego boost. It gives you that power. And that's something that is unfortunately very detrimental towards the success of your business. It's actually really advantageous towards your own personal ego, but it doesn't actually serve the company in the right way.
Wow. So I mean, so you're talking about like ego, and I like this topic. Let's dive down this, unpack this a little bit more, right? So you have ego, but then on the other side of the coin, would you not say that some of them are more like old fashioned and they're used to that mentality of having a workforce and being in that environment, and that's what they've grown up knowing versus being accustomed to the new world?
Yeah, well, and that's another part of this that I think is really important to be able to reinforce. When that switch happened from February to March,
Mm.
I was getting so many phone calls from massive companies. I had a G20 country call me and they said, "Hey, we have 550,000 employees and we need to take them remote tomorrow. How do we do it?" And I said, "I don't know. I have 150 people in my company." And they said, "Well, you're the first guy that's picked up the phone." It was a complete lack of understanding. And the vast majority of those people that I lovingly call pandemic panickers, they kind of did remote at gunpoint. It was emergency remote work. It wasn't actually the premeditated stuff that we've been doing for decades. And a big core piece of that is actually recognizing how to manage remote workers. And
Mm.
managing remote workers is very, very different from managing people in person. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into that that's actually connected to the book that I spent the last year and a half writing with HarperCollins about the subject, really kind of identifying how to manage these people and how they act very differently from people that are, in person.